Today I'm making a summer feast for friends featuring crab cakes with corn and scallions served with a remoulade sauce. So we're going to start with the sauce. Comes together in a jiffy in the food processor. Starts with a cup of mayonnaise because it's a mayonnaise-based sauce. Use your favorite brand here. Now we're going to add some relish. Now the recipe actually calls for sweet pickle relish, but I like the dill pickle relish a little bit better. I'm not so hip on the sweet stuff. But you just want a tablespoon of the relish, 2 teaspoons of hot sauce. You don't wind up tasting the hot sauce so much, it just adds a little kick. All right, we're gonna add 2 teaspoons of fresh lemon juice. I'm just gonna eye this right into the bowl. Let's see, 1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoons. Next up, some Dijon. We're gonna add a teaspoon of Dijon. 2 teaspoons of freshly minced parsley, some capers, just a teaspoon of capers. We're gonna add 1 clove of garlic, and I'm gonna squeeze it into the food processor right through the garlic press. Use a little knife to get it off the back side of the press there. All right, and that's it for now. We're gonna season it with salt and pepper to taste because that amount really depends, of course, on how salty and peppery you like things, but also how much salt was in those other ingredients we added. Give it a quick pulse. All right. Oh, it smells good. This tastes good on all sorts of seafood, especially if it's fried. And I'm just gonna put this into a serving bowl. All right, like I said, season with salt to taste after you make it. Let's see here. That's perfect. It doesn't need a thing. Now I'm gonna put it in the fridge, let it chill down, and get the crab. I didn't buy just any old crab. I found blue crab at the store, which is my favorite because it has a really pronounced flavor. Now buying crab is really confusing. There's lots of different kinds. And the one thing you really want to look for is that it's lump crab because you want those big nuggets of crab in each cake. The other thing about crab is when it's packed, it has a lot of liquid in it. And that liquid can make for a soggy or murky tasting crab cake. So what you want to do is line a rimmed baking sheet with paper towels. And you want to dump the crab out and just spread it out. Oh, look how gorgeous this is. When you spread it out, you also want to look for any little bits of shell because there's usually 1 or 2 bits in there. It's like a special occasion. And this is 2 pounds of crab. Now again, patting dry on the top. All right, we're going to set this aside and add it to the crab cake mixture at the last minute. So, to build the crab cakes. This is gonna have some fresh corn in it. Again, I want this to be nice and summery. So just 2 ears of corn. Now I've shucked and washed these ears. This isn't cooked, this is raw. And you wanna just use a paring knife, nice large bowl, cut the kernels off. Tomatoes and corn and crab. That is pure summer right there. All right, there's 2. In with the corn, we're gonna add a lot of scallions, a whopping 6 scallions, which is basically a bunch. All right, just gonna trim the ends here. Trim off the other ends if it's all a little bit dried out. I know I've said this before and I'll say it every time I cut scallions. I treat the white and light green part differently than the dark green part. Because the dark green part is nice and hollow, you can just slice it through. But this white part is really more like an onion. So I cut each stem in half. Therefore you just get a nice finer mince. You don't get that strong piece of scallion in your bite. And now for the dark green parts. All right. Into the bowl goes with the corn. All right, now for the binder. We're gonna add some saltine crumbs, which is classic East Coast. Now we're gonna use saltine crumbs in the crab cake, but we're also gonna dust the bottom of the crab cakes with them as well. So you need 28 saltines total, grind them up in a food processor, goes in to the mixture. We're gonna add 1/2 cup of mayonnaise. We're gonna add 2 egg yolks, again, richness and a good binder, and a little melted butter, just 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter that's melted. All right, we're gonna add some Old Bay. Again, classic East Coast. We're gonna add 2 teaspoons of Old Bay seasoning, 2 tablespoons of Dijon, and last, some more hot sauce, just for a little kick, 4 teaspoons, which is also known as a generous tablespoon. There we go. All right, we're gonna stir this all around. I mean, that looks good already. We haven't even added the crab. All right, one last press. Paper towel is sort of a funnel. Add the crab right to the bowl. Oh, so good. Get all those little pieces in there. folding in the crab. If some of the big lumps break up, that's okay. That'll help those crab cakes bind together. But you want to be gentle and try to keep as many of those big lumps intact as you can. I mean, I make a mess whenever I cook, but this is especially messy. So I'm actually going to put gloves on. Just making a patty. It's a little less than a cup per cake. You can measure that if you want, or you could weigh the whole mixture and divvy it up by 8. But I make these quite a bit. I know exactly how big these should be. But it's about the size of my hand. And these are generous crab cakes. But again, you're serving this as your main course. Notice I'm taking my time to pack them, so you don't want them falling apart as they cook. All right, there we go. Now just make 7 more. All right, last crab cake here. These look pretty good. They look all about the same size. All right, so, all right, there we have the 8 crab cakes. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dip just the bottoms in these cracker crumbs. Again, these are more saltine crumbs. All right, so one side in. There you see, nice and crummy. Back on the plate. Crummy's a good thing here. Yeah, these crab cakes are just holding together, which is perfect. Kind of want them to fall apart as you look at them. So you gotta handle them a little delicately once they're cooked. All right, gloves off. All right, into the fridge they go at least an hour, but you can do it up to 8 hours in advance. Hey there, I hope you're enjoying this video. Did you know that you can stream every season of your favorite shows from America's Test Kitchen anywhere, anytime, and ad-free? With an all-access digital membership, you can unlock thousands of recipes that have been rigorously tested by our experts. Not to mention unbiased equipment and ingredient reviews, available at home or on the go with our mobile app. Visit cookscountry.com to start your free trial. Yes. You can even see that chilling them really just helps them set up. All right, so now for baking. Notice I have a thoroughly buttered rim baking sheet here, and that's good because it helps get those crumbs on the bottom good and crisp. So I'm gonna transfer them over to the baking sheet. And again, I'm being pretty gentle because you don't want these to fall apart. All right, nice and spaced out. Now these are going under the broiler. They're gonna cook through really quickly because if you think about it, the crab's already been cooked. We just need to cook through those yolks and help them set up and warm through and get crisp on the top. So the broiler, the rack is 8 inches from the broiler element. I'm gonna spin around halfway through. They take about 12 minutes or so to cook through. So in the oven they go. Ooh, crab cakes are done. Perfect. All right. Oh, yes. Look at these beauties. See how they get a little brown and crisp on the top? I love that. They're ripping hot, which is good, but we're gonna let them set for just 2 minutes, let them firm up a little bit before we transfer them to the platter. Oh yeah. So a fish spatula makes it really easy to move them gently to the platter. Oh. All right, so now time to make a plate. Sprinkle some lemons over the platter of crab cakes. Which crab cake is mine? I'm going for this crispy fella up here. Or you can see it's almost starting to fall apart. That's a good sign. Some lemon wedges, a little dollop of remoulade. I do like that sauce. This is a wonderful summer meal. Oh, look at the steam, perfectly cooked through. The blue crab has such a strong flavor. And then you get the pops of corn kernels and the scallions, a little kick of hot sauce at the end. Oh, and the remoulade with the dill pickles and the capers. Man, see you next time. Thanks for watching. What'd you think? Leave a comment below and let me know what you're excited to cook this week. You can get today's recipes and more for free at our website.